There's one thing I find very helpful as a reseller when I'm out thrifting, and that is to know what the current and upcoming fashion trends are. And the best way for me to do that is to go online and research, look at publications, look at magazine articles, and just get a good idea of what will be on trend so that I can thrift with those trends in mind and pick up items that presumably will have a pretty high demand and sell quickly. So even though we are at peak summer, it is still the beginning of July. So I'm personally not quite thinking about the fall other than with reselling, because people do start buying, you know, for the next season about a month or two before that season even starts at times. So I want to be ready and know what will be in season, what will be on trend, and get a little bit of a head start here. So hopefully you find this video helpful, and let's just jump right on into it. Okay, so I'm just gonna type in fall fashion trends 2024 and then narrow it down a bit using this tools, and let's look at the past month, and then we'll go to news just so we get only magazine publications. So the first one is 5 fall fashion trends that are about to be absolutely everywhere, and this is from Cosmopolitan. The first one is leopard. We all know and love animal print, but get ready for the leopard aesthetic to take over and become a part of your capsule wardrobe. So leopard print, animal print. I think you can really tell with the black part on the outside of the spots, and then that little bit more dark inside. You can see here. Versus a cheetah print, which is definitely little tiny, more smaller dots. Next up, 60s. Fashion from decades past comes and goes, and this season, the 60s are back with all things mod. It looks like ribbed midi dresses, riding boots, kind of this micro short look, cutouts. Western. Beyonce has superpowers. With her country album release, she has single-handedly pulled us into our cowboy era, and thanks to the fashion gods, we have something to show for it. Take out all your fringe and cowboy boots because Western dressing is here to stay. So very bohemian, Western, fringe, cowboy boots. What's that? I guess a leather, that soft leather or suede jackets. Chaps. Cropped outerwear. Teeny tiny puffers, blazers, and coats are upon us. Whether or not they will keep us fully warm, that's to be determined. Cropped outerwear, I do feel like had a moment last year too. I saw a lot of cropped puffers last year, so it seems like that will continue. Interesting to see cropped blazers coming back, because I've seen a lot of the oversized blazers within the last few years, so that is interesting to see coming back. Also, cropped cardigans have been in for a bit, so that does make sense. All right, so that's it for this first one. All right, this next one is by L'Officiel, all the fashion trends from fall winter 2024 haute couture. So first up is expansive sleeves. This has definitely been on the up and coming recently, I feel like, with those more emphasized shoulders, and it looks like that will just be even more dramatized this year. So if there was ever a question about whether or not fashion was getting bigger and more out there, brands again declared maximalism in this season. Oversized sleeves commanded attention, creating a sense of raw power. Olympic goddess. Brands undoubtedly had Olympic fever heading into haute couture. One-shouldered Greek goddess gowns. Cotton, white, elongated coats. Embroidered, white pleated skirts. So definitely crisp, white, flowy, embroidered, pleated. Next up, sheer silhouettes. Very sculpture-like dresses. Dramaticism, sheer, velvet train, pearl embellished. Definitely good keywords, good style aspects to be on the lookout for. If anything you find while out thrifting has pearl embellishments, velvet, pleated, airy, flowy, these are all good styles to be on the lookout for. Neutral colors. Achromatic colors. Little color had graced the runways, so definitely a lot of neutrals, blacks, whites, creams, tans, browns, while moments of blues, reds, and yellows were few and far between. I do feel like fall and winter do typically tend to lean more towards neutral colors, so that seems pretty on par with seasons past. Hypertexture. Designers took texture to another level this season, expanding on three-dimensionality and seductiveness. Leather, thorns, and quills. Boots with miniature spikes. Subtly draped bodysuit-style dresses. Floral garlands. Old school corsetry. Interesting, corsets. The days of pretending you are in Brothers Grimm fairy tale during lockdown might be over, but corset mania is far from finished. A modern-looking crystal-embellished corset and a nude corset with black gems dazzled on the Chanel and Schiaparelli runways, respectively. The next one is bows. Bowdemonium has been shaping the fashion world for quite some time now. Massive bows, miniature gold bows. This looks like all styles of bows, silk velvet bows. Cocoon. Cocoon dress, which expands itself into its own distinct universe. So some designers stepped away from hip-hugging ensembles to create unique billowing looks. So very, again, dramaticized, flowy, maximalist. Face veils. The popular 1980s accessory for social gatherings is back. That's an interesting one. Some of these I do think are a little more runway appropriate or high-end fashion versus your everyday kind of a look, but maybe in some cases face veils will be worn. Capes. This seductive piece of outerwear was ubiquitous during New York Fashion Week. Okay, the next article is by Vogue, and it is 6 trends to know and shop now as seen on the Vogue World Paris runway. Okay, first up, retro stripes. So this is it's kind of looking like more of a summertime trend right now, but I also think this will, of course, bleed into fall, and it's just a pretty simple thing to be on the lookout for. Stripes, preferably colorful kind of stripes. Sweater vests would be very good. Tops in general, accessories. Then silver and white. So this is, again, going along with that 1960s trend that we saw a little bit earlier. Short knit dresses, metallic dresses, sequins. Very 60s. Mini dresses, maxi dresses. Next, sports style. So that's another one we're kind of seeing as a repeat, which is usually a good indicator that it will definitely be on style when multiple of these publications are covering it. So I'm gonna put that one down again. Sports style, more of a sporty kind of a look. Jerseys, tennis, athletic wear, track jackets, t-shirts, tennis skirts, leather shorts. This is similar to that motocross aesthetic we saw. I think it was fall 2022. I think that might have been the last time I did one of these trends videos, but I do remember the athletic motocross kind of a style being very in, with that mix of athletic aspects and things like leather and textures like that. So this kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Also bringing in, I guess, the preppier look with the tennis skirts, the polos, track jackets, rugby style shirts. This would also fall into that retro stripes. So that's probably a really good joining point for these, where it's the athletic preppy kind of a style along with the retro stripes. Disco colors. Leading the charge for the groovy 1970s were show-stopping chiffon dresses and capes. ruffles, tie-dye, again with the capes. Horse girl fall. The worlds of fashion and equestrianism have always been intertwined. What better way to honor this history than with pieces from the French fashion houses of Dior and Hermes. The silhouettes on the runway resembled those of the 1950s with nipped-in blazers and full skirts. Again, riding boots, blazers, tulle skirts, double-breasted blazers, cinched blazers, so a little bit more fitted, Western core, horse girl, I guess is what they're calling it. This next one I do not know how to pronounce, Belle Epoque, but it looks like they are looks inspired by the 1920s. So let's see, frayed jackets, bows, again, these are pretty repeat, some pearl embellishments, lace, embellished low neck top. So 1920s, seems like a lot of different decades are spanning the current trends right now. Okay, so the next article is by Who What Wear, and this one is looking at the color trends that are projected to be on trend this year. All right, we've got almost yellow, so I guess kind of cream, off-white. The term quiet luxury might not be as current as it was in the middle of last year, but the aesthetic, which centers largely on anti-trend, minimalist, and classic pieces, has firmly made its mark on the 2024 color trends. So pale yellow, I guess, is another way to put it. A good color to be on the lookout for. Another one is pale blue. So again, it kind of is a little bit more on the spectrum of, I guess, towards neutrals, or just a little more of the quiet colors, not quite as bright and bold as spring and summer colors would be. Sky blue just might be the most fashionable color of the year. The next one, every orange. Peach fuzz is another way to put that one. So I guess kind of a peachy orange. Again, still a pretty pale or a little bit muted, toned down version of the color. Next is steel gray. The key here is in the styling. Wearing all gray outfits, if perhaps one of the easiest runway trends to emulate, as most of us will have enough gray pieces to do so already with items we already own. Still, if you'd like to invest in something fresh to celebrate gray's new fashion status, there are plenty of pieces to choose from. Steel gray. Cherry red. Okay, this one's looking a little bit more bright and bold. Red tones. This is definitely going to be, I would guess, in that athletic preppy kind of a trend, especially with polos and accessories. With this color in particular, maybe sweaters, shoes. Chocolate brown. Of all the 90s trends that have made a comeback over the past few years, brown is the one with the most staying power. Snow white. Akin to gray above, I'm sure some of you will argue that white is not a trend. It's classic, it's timeless. Here, however, lies its power. Designers made white feel even fresher by exploring its different fabrications: cotton, leather, chiffon, silk, wool. And that's precisely how we should be wearing it this year, layered up in a myriad of ways. Pistachio green. Again, toned down, muted, a little more pale. Call it sage, pistachio, or laurel, celadon, or well, light green. That's up to you. So as long as you wear it, that's what really matters. Mirror silver. One of the biggest fashion comebacks of the past few seasons has to be silver. After a tentative return via jewelry, silver burst into the fashion realm, covering everything from trousers, dresses, bags, and shoes. If you've already invested, you'll be pleased to hear that silver is more than just a thing in 2024. It is a full-blown obsession. All right, so those are the projected color trends for the year. And then let's wrap it up with the 5 fall shoe trends for 2024 from Cosmopolitan. This is one I really like to know what's going to be on trend, because I do tend to notice that shoes can take a long time to flip if they are not an on-trend style, or if it's a really outdated style, it's probably not going to sell. So I always really appreciate looking at the fall shoe trends, or just shoe trends in general, to get a good idea of what people will be on the lookout for. Okay, so paper bag boots. It was hard to miss this shoe silhouette on the runways for this upcoming fall season. This boot is a new take on the slouchy silhouette, but it feels even roomier. We saw styles that had leather, chainmail, and even drawstrings for a sporty touch. This is not something I've really seen out thrifting. Let me know if you guys have seen this style. Maybe this really is a more extremely recent style. I just cannot even picture seeing these. Okay, next up, square toes. From heels to boots to flats, square toes are still very much in the picture. That's great to know. This trend must be in your wardrobe, okay? That's a little bit easier of one to identify for me, is the square toe. Next is biker boots. The biker boot is one that will edge up any look. This season we saw a red floral option, as well as some others with zipper and lace-up details. Sure, the biker aesthetic is never not in vogue, but this time it really takes the spotlight. Next is delicate pumps. It's all about the details, darling. Whether the heels are satin, embellished, floral, or T-strap, this sweet update to the classic style adds a bit of whimsy to any ensemble. I would definitely style this trending shoe with a chic shift dress, or even denim and a white tee. So it looks like it's all different styles of heel, as far as the block heel goes, a kitten heel, flats. We have loafers, emphasized with multiple S's. Loafers have been trending for a while now, but they aren't going anywhere. This style of shoe was huge this season. We specifically saw them with a ton of different appliques. We're talking tassels, bows, buckles, and even heeled options from Victoria Beckham. And then I do actually want to take a look at the jeans trends. I almost forgot to look at those, but I think that's really important and helpful when out thrifting. So this is the 7 biggest denim trends of 2024 from Harper's Bazaar. So the skinny jean, wait, let me make sure this is current. Okay, June 7th, 2024, so this is current. The skinny jean. Designers are giving baggy jeans the day off in favor of leg-hugging, second skin, nowhere to hide skinnies. With a silhouette that goes against the grain of recent denim, the look suddenly feels rebellious, which in turn makes it feel cooler than it used to. So interesting. In some ways, skinny jeans are actually pretty easy to wear. To complete the Y2K look, buckle up with an exaggerated belt. So interesting. Okay, that's actually kind of exciting to hear in a weird way, because I think a lot of us come across skinny jeans pretty often. So it's good to know that they might actually be coming back into style a little bit. And they are a very good pair of jean to wear with boots, because you can just put your boots right over them and they can tuck right in. So we will see how true this is, but I'm very intrigued seeing skinny jeans first thing on this list. Next is the straight leg jean. You simply can't go wrong with a pair of straight leg jeans. Not only is the fit straightforward, literally, but these classics prevail in a range of washes. Next up, patchwork denim. For a bohemian take on your denim, look no further. These jeans will last forever, they're easy to fix, and they will become a conversation piece through the years of repaired patches. The only thing left to do is add your favorite summer basket bag to complete a 70s inspired ensemble. Very 70s, so it looks like wider leg, bell-bottom type jeans with the patchwork style. Next up, the wide leg jean. So this has definitely been on trend for a while now, I would say. So that's not going anywhere. Baggy, minimalist. The cropped jean. These shorter hemmed jeans have long reach of sophistication when elegantly styled. The illusion jean. This is new to me. These splurge-worthy jeans are at the top of my wish list. I love seeing designers take a classic wardrobe basic and add a dose of joyful personality. Wear yours with an oversized button down and a classic crossbody bag to let these jeans do all of the talking. I'm a little confused on this style. Let me know if you have a good way to describe these. Illusion jean. I guess it's just the way that the cut is, makes it look like your legs are smaller or elongated. Different uses of texture. This is one I might need to look into a little bit more because this one is definitely new to me. Raw denim. If you're looking for a more polished edge when it comes to your jeans, raw denim is for you. The darker rinses read as more formal, and the structured finish lends a more tailored look. These are perfect office jeans, pairing nicely with a fitted cardigan and a ballet flat. Very nice. All right, and that sums up the denim trends. I am so surprised to see the skinny jean. I did not expect that at all. Okay, I'm gonna break these down a little bit and just go over them. Quick recap and share what our findings were for the fall 2024 trends. So first up, maximalism. Expansive sleeves, big flowy silhouettes, dramatized. We saw a lot of sheer, capes, cocoon dresses, corsets. Definitely an emphasis on the maximalist style, dramatic, bigger is better, I guess, kind of a thing. Western horse girl fall was another one. Riding boots, cowboy boots, cinched blazers and double-breasted blazers, full skirts as well as fringe. And then we did see a bunch of styles across the decades. So the 1920s, we saw embellishments, bows and pearls. The 1940s, it was the retro stripes and the face veils. The 1960s, we saw mini skirts, leopard prints, metallics and sequins. The 1970s was tie-dye, bell bottoms, fringe, boho kind of styles. And then moving out of the decades, we saw cropped outerwear, cropped blazers, cropped jackets, cropped puffers, cropped cardigans. Athletic prep was another really pretty popular kind of all-encompassing style core that we saw. So polos, track jackets, tennis skirts, pleating, things like that. It did kind of play on the motocross trend that we saw not too long ago with the leather textures as well as biker boots. Neutrals are definitely expected to be on trend, as well as a variety of textures kind of worn all together. So leathers, mini spikes, embroideries, floral embellishments, things like that. For jeans trends, we saw skinny jeans, straight leg jeans, patchwork denim, wide leg jeans, cropped jeans, illusion jeans, and raw denim or darker denim. For shoe trends, we saw paper bag boots with a slouchy silhouette, and they oftentimes were in leather. Square toe shoes, so boots, flats and heels, but just with that square toe at the top. Biker boots, delicate pumps, so satin embellished floral, definitely very feminine. And loafers, which have been very on trend lately and will continue to be on trend. Loafers with tassels, bows, buckles, as well as heels. And then the overall color trends that we saw from the article that we looked at was almost yellow or a pale yellow, pale blue or kind of a sky blue, peach orange, steel gray, cherry red, chocolate brown, snow white, pistachio green, and mirror silver. So as far as neutrals go, grays, browns, whites, and silvers, and then pretty much any color except for the red were very pale, muted, toned down colors. But the red I do feel like was a pretty bright, pretty classic red color. But bold and really bright colors definitely don't seem to be slated to be on trend. It'll definitely be neutrals, metallics, and then more pale, toned down versions of colors will be on trend this fall. So when you're out thrifting, hopefully this is helpful and it can give you a good idea of things to be on the lookout for. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a very good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.